Hey Sevens, it's Mr. CHEN-KE here. In this video, I want to guide you guys through how to write an introduction for a text response essay. So, for the rest of this week, this is what our lessons will cover. Lesson 1 today, you will learn how to write an essay introduction. Tomorrow, or actually at the end of today's period, you're going to start practice writing, and you're going to practice writing an introduction, which is due tomorrow, just before our period 5 class. On Thursday afternoon, we're going to be introducing how to write body paragraphs in the teal structure, which I'm sure a lot of you guys would already have some familiarity over. And on Friday, our double period, you guys will have the opportunity to practice writing body paragraphs using the teal structure. So this is what the rest of our week looks like in terms of the content that we're going to be covering in English. Just a bit of a recap though. Last week and on Tuesday, we reviewed and learnt about how to plan an essay. And we learnt that there's an essay planning process that essentially can be summarized into 5 steps. Number 1, when you get an essay topic, or sometimes your English teachers will call that an essay prompt, you need to highlight and define the key words. You need to first get an understanding of what the topic is about. Secondly, you need to find synonyms for these keywords because you don't want to use the same keywords over and over again in your essay. And then afterwards, you need to identify the command words. These are the words or phrases that set the parameters of your essay. They let you know whether or not you can agree or disagree with the topic. They let you know whether or not you can challenge it, and those are really important. Thirdly, you need to form your contention. That's your point of view on the topic or the prompt. Think of that as your opinion. Every essay needs a contention, because if you don't have a point of view on the topic, then you don't really have an essay. The 4th step in the planning process is where you think about and brainstorm and order your thinking into 3 main ideas, or your 3 main points. Remember, each of these 3 main points has to back up your contention, back up your opinion, and it has to directly answer or address the essay topic. And 5th and final step of the process is to find evidence from holes to support your 3 main points. There's no point having 3 arguments or a contention if you can't demonstrate and justify your points. So now that we've learnt about how to deconstruct and plan essay topics, and we've established 3 main ideas and evidence, we can actually start writing the essay. And we're going to begin today with the introduction. But just as a bit of a recap, a text response essay has 5 paragraphs. So in 2 weeks' time, you're going to be writing all 5 of these paragraphs, and each paragraph of a text response essay serves a specific purpose. The first paragraph is the introduction, which is what we're going to be learning about today. And essentially, it introduces the person reading your essay to the text, it outlines your contention, and it signposts your 3 main points. I'm going to talk about what signposts means in a moment. And then you've got 3 body paragraphs. This is where you analyze and explain your 3 main points in detail. And this is where you use evidence, such as quotes from holes, to support your main ideas. Finally, the 5th and final paragraph in a text response essay is a conclusion. This summarizes the main points of your essay and also reiterates your contention on the prompt. So it sort of reinforces your point of view or your opinion. Alright, let's move on to the good stuff. Introductions. Alright, so you might be wondering, okay, I've sort of written introductions in the past, like this isn't my first rodeo, Mr. CHEN-KE, but what actually goes into an introduction paragraph? Well, different teachers teach it differently, but I think an introduction for a text response essay in English really should only include 4 things. The first thing that goes into an introduction is what I like to call a citation. This is literally where you state the title of the novel, Holes, the author's full name, Lewis Sacca, and the year of publication. And I think Holes was first published in 1998, the year after I was born. So that makes me feel old. Second thing that you want to include in an introduction is a short summary of the story. And usually you only want to do a 1 to 2 sentence summary. The third thing is your contention. So you want to actually clearly state your point of view, your stance, your opinion on the prompt. And then last but not least, you want to signpost your 3 main points. Now, signposting is when you list in a concise manner, and concise just means in a really short manner, the main ideas you'll be discussing and analysing in the body paragraphs of your text response essay. So 4 things go into an introduction, and you can write this down in your workbooks if you need to. 1, a citation. 2, a short summary of holes. 3, your contention. And 4, signposting or listing of your 3 main points. So last week we planned this prompt in class. So this was the sample essay topic that I planned for you guys. Both Stanley and Zero overcome mental and physical obstacles whilst they're at Camp Green Lake, which help them grow as characters discuss. Now, if you would recall from the essay planning slides and from our Zoom lessons, these were the 3 main ideas or main points that I came up with. Okay? With that being said, I think what was really clear from the essay planning process was you could pretty much answer this topic in a million ways. These are just the 3 main ideas that I thought, this is the 3 main ideas that I thought I would use to answer the essay topic. Now, remember, if we go back to this slide, you need to signpost your 3 main points. So essentially, you just take the 3 main points or the 3 main ideas that you brainstormed from your essay plan, and you essentially just shorten them a little bit and then drop them into your introduction. So the 3 main points that you brainstormed for the essay topics last week actually are essentially your signposting. So let me show you guys an introduction that I wrote based on the essay topic in purple here. Both Stanley and Zero overcome mental and physical obstacles whilst at Camp Green Lake, which help them grow as characters discuss. So I'm going to read this introduction with you guys, and then I'm going to show you a different version of this introduction that has been color-coded in accordance with the 4 essential elements of an introduction. So let's read this together. Lewis Sacker's novel Holes, 1998, follows the story of Stanley Yelnats and Hector Zeroni, 2 teenage boys who are sent to a juvenile correctional facility, Camp Green Lake, as punishment for their respective crimes. Over the course of the story, Stanley and Hector, nicknamed Zero, overcome a number of physical and mental obstacles which help them grow as individuals, whilst also strengthening their friendship. Stanley arrives at Camp Green Lake, as an overweight and insecure boy. However, by being forced to dig holes every day in the harsh desert climate, Stanley develops the resilience and the physical strength to survive the cruel conditions of the camp. Furthermore, Zero learns how to read and write with the help of Stanley, which helps him overcome the stereotypes placed on him by the other campers and Mr. Pendanski. Finally, during the boys' perilous escape to God's Thumb, Stanley and Zero develop a fierce determination to survive and strengthen their close bond with each other. So, let me break down this introduction for you guys. You can see in the purple there, Lewis Sacker's novel Holes, 1998, that's my citation. So I've listed the title of the story that I'm analysing, the year that it was published, and the author's full name. And then in the yellow here, I've given a really short 1.5 sentence summary of Holes as a story. The green here is really important. That's my contention. So I'm arguing here, my point of view is that over the course of the story, our 2 main characters that we follow, Stanley and Hector, overcome a number of physical and mental obstacles, which help them grow as individuals and also strengthen their friendship, their bond. That's my contention. That's how I've decided to answer this essay topic. I'm completely agreeing with it in this sample introduction. Now, obviously, you could disagree with this topic as well, but in this sample intro, I've decided to agree fully. And you would notice that the rest of this introduction is my signposted 3 main points. I've literally just listed for you the 3 main ideas that I'm going to be analysing and talking about or discussing about in my 3 body paragraphs. So, signpost point number 1, Stanley arrives at Camp Green Lake as an overweight and insecure boy. However, by being forced to dig holes every day in the harsh desert climate, Stanley develops the resilience and physical strength to survive the cruel conditions of the camp. That is my first main idea, which means that's the main idea that I'm going to be analysing in my first body paragraph. Furthermore, Zero learns how to read and write with the help of Stanley, which helps him overcome the stereotypes placed on him by the other campers and Mr. Pendanski. That is my second main point, which means that's what I'm going to be talking about in my second body paragraph. finally, during the boys' perilous escape to God's Thumb, Stanley and Zero develop a fierce determination to survive and strengthen their close bond with each other. That is my third and final main point, which means that's what I'm going to be talking about in my third body paragraph. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a model introduction using the 4 essential elements: a citation, a short summary of the story, my contention, and my 3 signposted points. Your job for me today is to head to this document, which I've posted on Google Classroom, and I want you to write now an essay introduction in response to the topic that you guys have been planning and unpacking individually, which is Hall suggests that transformation can only occur when a devastating event occurs. To what extent do you agree? Now remember, when you're writing your introduction, use this modeled or guided example to support you, but also use this checklist below. Have you included a citation, a short summary of the story, a clear contention, a brief signpost of your 3 main points? And every time you do so, tick these boxes off. And once you've done all 4 things, your introduction is done. Where do you need to submit this introduction, Year 7s? Well, please upload it to shared Google folder. Now, remember, this is what your shared Google folder looks like. Each and every one of you has a private folder that you can upload your work in. If you're having troubles finding a shared Google folder, that's okay. Please let me know and I can help you out. This introduction is due tomorrow at 1 o'clock, just before our period 5 class. All right. Thank you so much for watching this video, Year 7s. If you have any questions, please send me an email or comments on Google Classroom. Otherwise, good luck and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye guys.